Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Good Life and Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi. It's good to see some faces that I haven't seen in a couple of weeks. And it's good to see those that I have seen in the past time that we've come together. I also want to welcome those that are on Facebook and those that may be catching this at a later time. Um, we're going through a new season. We just had the fall equinox and we have a new moon today. So we have some beautiful, magical energy that we can definitely set our intent and collectively come together. As you may have seen, or if you did not see on the screen, today's word is reignite. Last week's word was resilience. And now we are going to reignite ourselves as these planets that are in retrograde are about to go direct in the coming weeks. I'm very mindful of the planet shifts and nature and how that affects me and my mood and my energy. And so, for those that were here, the last time we connected, if you would like to share how resilience really resonated with you over the last 2 weeks and what that looked like for you, even if you were not here, in what ways have you been able to connect to the resilience within yourself in order to be mindful of where you are and to still celebrate yourself and give yourself grace? Because oftentimes we don't give ourselves grace and we don't even see the things that we've overcome and how resilient we have been in our lifetime. We woke up today, so we have to give gratitude for waking up today. And those that have possibly not waken up and they're transitioning into the realm of the ancestors, we give them gratitude for the lessons and the things that they left here. Because again, our ancestors are the ones that support us and know us and love us. So Phyllis, hi Phyllis, hi Miss Gloria, hi Miss Benton, Miss Martha, Miss Rochelle, and Miss Kokoye. I always want to make sure I say that name properly. So in this space with the word reignite, that is my word of intention. I always start with a word of intention because air is the first magical space that is unseen, that we're constantly breathing in and out. And so we have to give gratitude to all of the elements because those elements are in us. So with that understanding, the energy of reigniting the passion within ourselves. What is it that we think about that we want to reignite? We'll say, oh, I used to do this and it made me feel good, but you stopped doing it. So, in what way can we reignite that passion for those things that we love doing, or even reignite the energy within ourselves to start a new day? Sometimes it's tough and we want to just lay around sometimes and not get up and maybe just veg out and watch TV. But then sometimes those days can turn into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 days or even more. So, in what way can we be mindful in how we need to reignite or jumpstart ourselves? Because we know as the season changes, sometimes we have to fall back, like the time changes if we fall back. So, how do we fall back to renew, restore, review, to see the resilience? Miss Benton, I see your hand raised. Please share.
Okay, well, one thing, but
You're going in and out. You're going in and out. So I don't know if it's your service or, but just it shows you're unmuted.
okay, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
One of the things I've started is my Pilates class. She say, if you sit on that big ball, she say she had 3 stomachs. Now she don't, but when I sit on the ball, it kind of holds your stomach. It's like make muscles. Muscles burn fat. The first lost like 4 pounds. Okay, well, I didn't do anything else different. The next week I go, I lost 5 pounds. So I'm thinking every night when it's time for me to go to bed and watch a movie, I don't sit in my bed like I used to Indian style and watch movie. I get that ball, I bring it out. I'm committed to at least 1 hour a night sitting on the ball. So that's my lifetime future.
Oh, well, thank you for putting that in the space, because it's definitely to sit on a ball for an hour is definitely getting your posture together. So I appreciate you sharing that, because it's definitely something different versus slouching on the couch in our comfortable space. It makes you aware. What word would you like to put in the space today?
Yeah, I would say, morning I get up, for the count of 4, I exhale. Then when I exhale, she say, pretend you're zipping up your zipper. So when you exhale, when you zip up the zipper. So I would like to put just breathing. That just keeps us going. That is no life.
I love that. So the theme being reignite, and then you have breathing. So you need that air and that breath in order to even reignite yourself, and being aware of that energy in your abdomen, because that's your area of creation. That's where we as women, because it's majority women on this call, where we again create even without children and giving birth to children, we still have that energy within us. So thank you for adding that word of breathing. Would anyone else like to share the word they want to put in the space? I think you're muted, Phyllis. I see you speaking, but you're muted.
When I think of reignite, I think more transformation, restart, redo,
Love
more.
it.
I'm kind of looking at this as, we in fall, is coming down to the end of the year, and you could definitely see the change in the surroundings in terms of what things look like. And it's an ending, but you also know it's coming into a beginning. So
I love it. Ending and beginnings. Love that. Miss Martha, I see that you unmuted.
Well, I was thinking more movement. Movement is my word. I am constantly dealing with pain, and I have to find ways to keep going in spite of that. So my thing is, I just pick something, my sneakers or my shoes. I got to get them on and get out of here. So my word is movement, because when you're in pain, you can find so many reasons not to move.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, when you don't move, you can become stiffer, a little tighter in the
Yeah.
body. So thank you for sharing that. Would anyone else like to share? Welcome, Miss Alana. See that you've joined us. I wanted to acknowledge you. We have a few more people that we can share in the space. What word comes to mind with the intention that we're setting? Kokoye.
Yes, thank you, Iya. I was thinking, and I have been thinking all day about trying to develop a routine. I am a person who starts stuff, but I have a hard time sticking to stuff. So I thought a routine. As I was in the bathroom this morning, I have a sleep apnea,
Mm-hmm.
and usually when I'm washing it, I don't wash it first thing in the morning. Well, I got to do this. I got to. So I was in the bathroom. I said, why not? You're here right now. That task is done. You don't have to think about it again. And maybe that'll free up your mind to do something else, because there's lots of something else that I need to do. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on, is developing an early morning routine, because I know full well as the day goes, so do I. So thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, because routine is definitely something that can help reignite the fire within ourselves. If we don't keep that routine going, then we'll go back to the old routine prior to that reigniting. So I think that that is a excellent word to put in the space with all of these other amazing words. I think we have 3 more people that we could possibly share. Miss Gloria, I see you're unmuted.
The first word I wrote was creativity, to reignite the creativity for myself.
That's beautiful because with creativity, we're able to create new stories, rewrite our story, you know, and bring in new ways of seeing things because again, with creation comes a new vision. So you have to have a vision to be able to create. So thank you for putting that in there because I did say I need to pick up a paintbrush and some other things and bring my creativity back, even when it comes to writing, because that is a form of creation and creativity. It's not always a paintbrush or a pencil or art pad. Sometimes it's mixed media and you're using glue and pennies or glue and other materials. So there's a lot of ways to be creative. Even drawing in the sand at the beach, or buying different flower bouquets and setting up different flower arrangements. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I even tend to write in the column of sometimes my journal. I'll just doodle, and doodling is the easiest thing for me to do. So
I love it. I love the doodle. I love the doodles. Alana, I see that you're unmuted.
I guess what I'm gathering from the what you're talking about is something that you need to do to, is it more like keep a spark within yourself, I guess?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So so for me, I guess the word is limits. because
Okay.
because I'm a healthcare provider and I get compassion fatigue very easily. And not easily, not I used to, but now I'm learning, limits because I have started to I go to Michael's and they have these little kid arts and crafts kits.
Mm-hmm.
I am not artsy at all, but I painted my own 2 flower pots. I let's see. Actually, I painted and designed something that I had on the front of my house. And do you know that I had a neighbor to ask, could she buy it from me?
See, everyone's an artist.
So I said, no, you can have it. I said, you can have it. I said, that was my kindergarten art project. I said,
Aw.
you can have it. So I'm putting limits on myself that at a certain time of night, I'm turning this left side of my brain off and turning my right side on.
I love it. So that goes to the creativity and you sharing, and it's amazing how that piggybacked right after she said creativity, you shared your art and how you're doing art. I love it.
Right.
I love it. I love it. Miss Rochelle, I see that you're here, but I'm not too sure if you were able to put your word in the space or in the chat. But I do want to acknowledge that I see you here and present with us. So as we collectively reignite within ourselves this new transformation, knowing that endings are also beginnings, so it's okay to change, it's okay to move, it's okay to have a routine and allow creativity to be yours, as you said, boundaries and limits for yourself to be in alignment with your purpose and your destiny, not anyone else's. Mindful of how you move and how other people's make you feel. That's the boundary part. Sometimes our triggers are definitely triggered during times where we are reviewing ourselves. This is a time where the mother wound and the father wound comes up and the inner child comes up, and we're reminded of even the things that we may have gone through during that process. So, again, holding on to the good moments more so than the bad moments can definitely bring more of this beauty of transformation. And sometimes we have to breathe through it because anxiety may come up or old thoughts may come up, and it prevents us and blocks us from being creative or moving forward or setting boundaries and limits. So in today's meditation, I'm going to go for about 10 minutes, up it a little bit instead of 5 minutes. We're going to go to about 1:30 so that we can see how our thoughts really move in 10 minutes versus the 30 minutes. Sorry, versus the 5 minutes. Is there any shares, any questions prior to us getting started? Okay. I am going to share my screen. You will see me muted, so you won't really see me, but you will hear me. Okay.
I have a question. I have a quick question.
Yes.
What are we looking to transform? Are we looking to transform our inner selves, where once we transform our inner selves, we're hoping that it'll reflect on the outside?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we are the co-creators with creation, right?
Mhm,
So if we're constantly saying this loop of our thoughts and we're constantly looping and we're not changing, we're not transforming, but
mhm,
we're kind of just redoing the same thing over and over,
mhm.
we're not able to see our patterns. So being mindful of our
Okay.
thoughts and being mindful of how we're creating with the co-creator and setting these boundaries, it can show up in ways where we're speaking to our higher selves and we're asking for a sign that things have changed. It could be simple, something simple that, oh, okay, I'm meditating here at the beach. Show me a particular bird, or show me a particular animal or a particular thing, or hear a sound, to know that you are hearing and I'm changing and I'm actually co-creating with you, if that makes
Ah,
sense.
gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
for
That makes
example,
perfect sense.
yes, so sometimes I may, for example, go to the water, to the ocean, and I may give flowers or fruit or anything like that. And as I'm saying, setting my intention while I'm at the water and singing or whatnot, I may ask for a sign to be given to me, where it's things that I haven't let go of that is still sitting at the shore and it's never picked up by the water, right? But
Mhm,
I realized that
mhm,
that spirit saying, I'm still holding on to something that I haven't let go of, because the ocean holds everything. We
mhm,
give everything.
mhm.
If you go, it's very meditative. So when you're in nature, you have the ability to give that to nature, because nature is going to do what nature does. But we as human
Gotcha.
beings, our mind, we have to allow ourselves to flow with nature instead of against it. So it's a reprogramming in a sense. We're
Reprogramming.
reprogramming our inner selves, because if we keep holding on to our childhood stories, there's going to keep being opportunities and challenges. Some may see it as an opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity to shift my way of thinking in regards to this moment, or
Mhm,
it's a challenge and it's hard for me to do. So all opportunities aren't easy opportunities. And
mm.
the challenges are what make us resilient,
Okay.
and going through those different changes. So yes, we
Okay.
are the directors of our own movie and our own script. So we have to rewrite that with the way that we view things, speak about things. Most of us don't understand even the word nice. It really means fool. If you look at the origin of the word nice, it means fool. And we're always saying, "Oh, you're so nice," when we're really not. It's again intent. It's a good intent that we
Mhm.
have, but if we don't understand the language that we're speaking, it's a vibration that's going out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
hopefully that answers your question.
It does perfectly. Perfectly. Thank you.
Awesome sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see. And if you want to, again, turn off your screen, you can do so. Are you still able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. If you could take a moment to tap into your breath, I want you to go at your pace, ensuring that you're taking a deep breath from your abdomen into up your heart, into your higher self, your brain, and then exhaling. You can exhale with a sound, a sigh, but make sure that you're exhaling through your mouth. Allow the energy to settle in. Do not immediately jump or move. Take a couple of deep breaths. About 3 deep breaths before you bring yourself back. Remembering that the fire within is being reignited. The energy is transforming you to restart, change. See that there is beginnings and endings, that there's a new routine waiting as you set your boundaries and know your limits and move towards creativity and co-creating your destiny. Okay. Whenever you are ready, you may come back with your cameras on. And I will definitely share and then open the space for those that are with us to share as well. Definitely didn't intend to play the ocean drum, but the ocean drum wanted to be played for whatever reason today. And so I listened to when I am led to do it. And as we know, the ocean is a vast mass of water, and it also deals with our emotional selves, and it also deals with how we contract and retract and move forward because the waves are constant, and sometimes they're going in different directions, but they still go back the same way and they still come in the same way. So when I think of that, I think of the beginnings and endings of who we are aligning ourselves to be as we continue to reprogram and be more mindful of our thought process and how we feel and what our bodies are telling us so that we can live the good life. So is there anyone that would like to share?
Was the ocean drum the one that sounded like a seashell?
Yes, it sounded like thunder. It was near the end.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the ocean drum. The wind chimes played the longest. Those played the longest. It was a very magical background. We were in a reigniting, saw the butterflies, and it was actually called a butterfly effect or something to that nature. So even when you think of the energy of a butterfly, it was once a caterpillar and then it went into its cocoon and it became something beautiful. Oftentimes a butterfly doesn't know how beautiful it is. There's a saying that a butterfly cannot see its own beauty. So in what ways do we not see our own beauty, our own creativity, our own transformation? Because we change, we grow, we expand, we contract, we evolve. So in what ways are we being lighthearted like the wind chimes? Because that's a very airy energy.
Can I start off?
You sure can.
Well, right before the wind chimes, it just sounded like chaos. I don't know what it was before the wind chimes. It was something that was very loud, demonstrative, kind of.
Drums.
It was the drums
Drum.
first. It was the drums first, and
Yeah.
then it was this pyramid.
Right. And then it went into, and the reason why I say that is because I have this beautiful set of wind chimes that that when the wind catches it, it's very relaxing. Well, that's how I perceived myself, is like the transformation was kind of chaotic, not really knowing what I was transforming into. you know. And then when the wind chimes came, it was more, it was very, it was still disorganized, but it was a calmer disorganization. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the drum pattern itself, it is tribal, it is something rooted, and it does deal with the heart chakra. So I start with the drum because I want to align your heart with where we're going on the journey. And so sometimes the drum can be a bit chaotic and can disturb, because I know for me, the gong, starting off in some of the sound baths that I've been to, the gong is disturbing to me and I can't settle. But I also know what I'm dealing with in that moment as to why I can't settle. And so we have to align with what we're going through in that moment for the
Right.
drum to feel chaotic. The other instrument played right after the drum is a pyramid, crystal sound pyramid. And so in that, I opened up the all chakras from your root to your solar to your heart to your throat and your
Mm,
crown. So there may have been some uncomfortability in that if it's
mhm.
opening up areas that may have been closed,
Right.
if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. It's a
Okay.
lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing so that I can bring an understanding to what you felt and thought during the process. Phyllis, did you want to share your experience?
Yeah, so it's interesting because typically the drums always give me the most issue, but it was actually very soft this time. I find it to be very kind of rhythmic. All of the instruments, I definitely felt the vibration. I could feel like it reverberating throughout. I really like that. Um, I didn't think it was wind chimes, but I'm glad you clarified the pyramids, because I kind of like that, but it was sharp. It started out kind of sharp and focused, and then it kind of softened up and was a lot more diffuse. The wind chimes, which for me in the past I had issues with the wind chimes. The the wind chimes were really soft, but even though it was chaotic, it was a soft chaotic, and it was again very vibrational. And then that horn, I kind of vision what came to my mind initially was like, is that a seashell she blowing on? Because I thought it was like a seashell.
No, what you were probably picking up was my sound bowl. So the sound bowl did play. I have a sound bowl that's for the heart chakra. So you probably heard that. It sounds like a horn
Okay.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what I liked with the background, again, all of it, the water, the butterflies, the colors were all vibrational. And it's interesting because most, when you see butterflies, they're fluttering all around, they're really busybodies, you know. These were very were kind of smooth flowing. I
Hmm.
didn't I didn't get, you know, I got more of again, Jerry, just kind of a rhythmic, very smoothness, relaxed. The colors were tropical, the green and the yellow and orange and purple. It was like, I liked it. I felt really calm. I felt really relaxed. Uh, all the sounds I felt you know, I felt it. I felt the sensations coming from all of the sounds as if it were almost like vibrational.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Finally worked the mic out so that you can actually hear it. But I do have to be mindful of that pyramid because it can be a bit sharp. It can be a bit sharp. Is there anyone else who would like to share what may have come up for them? I want to also acknowledge the new person that has come in, Kemi. Thank you for joining us. I'm not too sure at what point you joined us, but thank you for being present. Gloria, oh, I see you, Miss Benton. If you want to go ahead, I see you unmuted.
Yes. Oh, no, I just kept. Let me bring this up. I'm on another. I just kept flowing with the different things, you know. It'll be a certain thing, and I'll be on the steps and waterfall would just be coming down the stairs, you know. and then it would change up, and all of a sudden I hold on to the what do you call a thing to pull you up in the air, you know?
Mm-hmm. A parachute, not a parachute.
No.
Hold on, and it would lift me up. And then at times I was in the water snorkeling with with the different fishes and stuff. I was just flowing from one thing to another.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. You said you were snorkeling and then you were at a waterfall and then you even saw yourself being pulled up on a parachute. That's beautiful. A beautiful share. Sounds like you had a lot of flowing energy, and going even to the depths of things. Well, not necessarily, snorkeling is not like deep sea diving, but you were at the shore of things. So that's a beautiful experience. I think you're muted. I can't hear you. I see your lips moving, but no audio.
But deep sea diving, forgot about that one.
Deep sea diving?
When the deep sea diving, I saw that movie In the Deep, and I had an opportunity in Hawaii to take lessons. I didn't do it, and I really regret it. So I'll
Oh.
never.
Aw, well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. I can't do deep sea diving. I can go to my knees, and that's about it. Thank you for sharing, Miss Benton. Anyone else would like to share?
For
Koye.
me, yes, for me, Ifa, I found myself attempting to meditate with my calming word, and I found the music intrusive. And it occurred to me the music is there, accept it, let go of the calming word. I am such a habit bound creature. It was difficult, but once I did that, I was able to work with my breath and the music, and it was very relaxing. And I talked about a routine. Well, I guess there are some routines that I don't need to hold on to all the time. I don't have to meditate the same way all the time. That was enlightening. Thank you, Eva.
Ah, thank you for sharing that. That is so true. Sometimes we get stuck in the habit, and the habit is not necessarily always good for us. Like that late night ice cream. That's one of my habits and routines that I have to be mindful of. Some things just you have to have balance and boundaries. So I appreciate you sharing that and being aware of that. Again, that's why it's Mindfulness Monday, so we can start our week off with that understanding of our routines and boundaries and all the beautiful things that we have to do. I think we have a couple of more. See if you want to share and be in the space, share your experience and how that worked out for you. It's Gloria.
I had to write some notes. At the beginning, the sound was very annoying, and so I just decided to watch the stream on the screen and the floating butterflies in water. And I said, as I become more in tune and aware, my hearing has seemed to become more acute. I hear sounds that are not there, it seems. And visuals tend to work better for me. So I envisioned a scene I've always had of the ocean with a full moon and hearing the waves. So when you were talking about the chakras and things, at the end I said my takeaway is the discomfort I felt, maybe my chakra. I may have issues with that because in the beginning, like before, I think at another time, it was hard for me to really take deep breaths. It seems like there's something around my middle that is tight. And I remember what you said about the color yellow. And so I was focusing on the yellow parts of the screen, and it seemed to have gotten better. But that's good information to know. So I'm just kind of like all over the place, it feels. But I know I've paid attention to my hearing and my vision more. but my hearing has gotten really, really interesting.
And that tends to happen, I guess, the more you clear energy within yourself, especially if you're not in your head as much or sharing so much with your thoughts, then you're able to hear things that you weren't hearing before because your mind is not clouded with overthinking. So that is, especially if you're journaling a lot more than you were before, you're letting that stuff go through the pen and through your hand. So that's beautiful. Sometimes it can be, painstaking to the ear depending on the space and energy you're in. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that. I definitely will be more mindful because again, I changed the mic on my mic setting, so it's now picking up a little bit louder than it was before. Because it wasn't picking up loud before. It was hard for you guys to hear at first, and now you're overhearing. So finding the balance and the limits and the boundaries and all of it. So thank you for sharing, because that is a factor in bringing awareness to how you felt in that uncomfortability. That was really good.
Well, I solved it. I took my earpieces out.
And it wasn't as loud.
Yeah.
The earpiece can make it seem a little bit louder than it does when, especially if you're in a quiet space.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing and that awareness. Miss Martha, did you want to share? And then I think we have two more if they are able to share. If not, you can type it in the chat room.
Well, for me, it was kind of unnerving in the beginning, but then I focused on all the colors. The drum is my favorite. It seems to beat the tension out of me. And after that, I'm kind of relaxed inside. And so I love the drums, and that little trickling sound made me think of rain, which I love. So it was very calming because the colors were just beautiful. And the butterflies flying here and there and everywhere. That was nice.
That's good. I definitely utilize vision as well because, again, we are visual people. So to bring in color, those colors that you saw mainly deal with your midsection. So it mainly dealt with your heart chakra, your solar chakra, and your sacral chakra. So the areas of your emotional self is pretty much the colors that you saw. Even being led to play the ocean drum. Again, that's the emotional self, ocean, and then the heart chakra bowl, which sounded like I was blowing through a shell, a seashell. That also worked with the green color that we saw because green represents the heart chakra, the yellow represents the solar chakra, sacral chakra is the orange. So you're dealing with all of those parts of self that we feel, and oftentimes when breathing, we stop at the heart. We don't take the breath down to above the belly, which is the yellow area. And so being conscious of that and being patient with yourself, even creating a pattern or a routine to go deeper, and say, okay, I can hold it for 1 second. Now I can hold it for 2 seconds because you are implementing these things. And it's also good to implement the visuals, the color, and go to YouTube and say ocean, ocean sound and ocean things for the ocean or forest meditation. Those are also helpful. Miss Martha, I see that you've unmuted it. I didn't know if you had a share or something that you wanted to ask.
I just finished
Okay.
sharing.
Awesome. Awesome. Rochelle, I know that you are present and you've been muted all of this time. Hopefully that this sound meditation has been helpful for you today, and the words that we have put in the space have also been helpful for you today. Chameleon, I believe I'm saying your name right. I want to again acknowledge and thank you for joining us today. Your space and time is appreciated. We are going to be wrapping up here. And I want to thank you all for putting into this space how we can reignite ourselves. Just remember your breath and remember that endings are also beginnings. So you can change the way that you think and not feel any grief from the endings that have occurred in your life. And to know that it's okay to put boundaries, on yourself, but that is in reviewing what you have been repeating, what has been your pattern in order for you to even set boundaries and to know when you feel uncomfortable and say, okay, that's a moment to set a boundary. so that you can move forward in this new routine with creativity. Be playful with it, be lighthearted with it. Remember the childlike part of yourself. You know, again, we're dealing with the inner child wound, the mother wound, and the father wound. So in what ways can we bring that happiness and that joy from those times, you know, and see the good things versus the things that caused the trauma, and boundaries that didn't allow us to be free or open, and they transformed us into being the opposite of what we desired, so we could tell ourselves new stories. And it is, again, something that you can rewrite until we meet again next week, because we will be starting every Monday, starting in the month of October, moving into the end of the year at 9 a.m. Hopefully you guys will still be able to join me, because it is something that is earlier in the day, but the recording will be available on the Facebook page for the Good Life Path. And it will also be available, I believe, if you register. I'm not too sure if they're sending recordings out, but you could definitely find it on the Good Life Path on Facebook.
So
Because,
do we
yes,
need to re-register for the next series, right?
I believe so. They're going to send out the information, because the next series will be the 90 days for the last quarter of the year.
Okay.
Okay. So be sure
So
to
you-
make, yes,
So Monday's class will be at 9 o'clock?
yes, they're moving it to 9 a.m. now, to start off the day better, because 1 p.m. some people are at work or the middle of their day and they forget. So they're upping it to 9 a.m. to start off with a better mindfulness of your week and your day. So hopefully that'll work for everybody. Alana, did you have a question?
Well, I was gonna say yay, because because that's 12 o'clock my time. That's my lunch. So that
Awesome.
that helps me to reset for the second half of
Awesome.
my day. So that's definitely, that really works for me, for sure, and when I heard that water, that hurricane is sitting right out there. It is coming up, right up Gulf of Mexico.
I know.
I'm like, doggone it. Everybody else is feeling, oh, I love this tranquil water. And I'm like, So, so y'all
Well,
pray for us.
I'm definitely going to send good vibes your way and pray that it definitely goes to just the one, and it's just gentle, light waters and rain that is coming your way versus something heavy. I want to make
Thank you.
sure that I mention the upcoming village. It takes a village free health fair that will be coming in November 9th. It will be in Oakland, so make sure that you are going to be able to attend if you're in town, so that you can participate in live exercise, meditation, cooking classes, and also be a part of the Barber Talk, enjoy live music, and then have other informational speakers and food trucks and health screenings and haircuts and a children's corner and so much more. So make sure that you go to thegoodlifepath.org and look at their events. And also, you can join us on The Good Life on Wednesday, September 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This will be an exclusive live speaker that will talk about the topic of gun violence and the impact on our community. Again, it's a free event for all, and it can be streamed only on Facebook. So follow facebook.com /The Good Life Healthy Aging, so that you can get more information about that event as well. Well,
That
it
what
has, I didn't hear
what was the
you.
date?
The date on
What was
that
the
last
date?
one is the 28th, which is Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Are they
28th
still
of
accepting
September?
vendors?
At this week, the 28th at 9 a.m. In regards to the event, you can definitely go to thegoodlifepath.org and get more information on the event on the 19th of November.
Okay.
For the
Yeah.
the gun control event, are they still accepting vendors, do you know? Or where they can go to register?
As far as It Takes a Village on November 19th at 11 a.m., you can go to thegoodlifepath.org and you can contact them into more information about vendors and those things. And Kokoye, I believe you was about to ask a question.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I have a meditation on Monday at 9, and we love it being so early. But I will plan to come to the recording, and I'm hopeful, and I hope you put in a good word,
Yeah.
good life, that they then count that. Because, you know, when they look at numbers, you know, count those of us who are coming to the recording, because if there's a conflict, that's a great way for us to still be able to participate. And I do plan to register, but, you know, make
Awesome.
sure that they're looking at that.
Okay, I would definitely inform them about that, the
Thank you.
recounting, you know, looking at people who are looking at the replay. Yes,
Because the 9 a.m. class is 2 times a month.
no, it's going to be every Monday.
But this through WCRC, the one that Kokoye is talking about.
It's twice a month. Okay, well, I will definitely inform them, let them know. I know that I'll be every day, and then the replay will be on. So
Okay, that sounds good.
yes,
Okay.
I'll be on every day. So that'll be alternating meditation opportunities for you guys.
Yes.
and
Yes.
again to catch the replay.
Mhm.
So thank you guys so much. If there's no one else that has any questions or does not want to share, I ask that your higher consciousness continue to be with you on your journey this week until we meet again. May your ancestors continue to support you on your journey. And of course, the spirit of nature and all elements in nature, may it also be of support to you all. Thank you again for joining the Good Life Mindful Mondays with Iya Kemi. You guys take care.
Ashe, Ima.
Ashe, ashe.